I extend a warm welcome to all of you for the launch of the YUVA Books Series. Just a quick housekeeping before we begin. We request everyone to be seated during the ceremony. And if you could keep your phones on silent, we would appreciate that. Thank you. Let us begin by watching a short video on FIHCR, its vision, mission, and the journey so far.
Namaste. Welcome to FIHCR. For the longest time, we have outsourced the narrative of our history and the way it is told to our future generations, to outsiders, to ideologically influenced historians, and politically motivated rhetoric. I think the time has now come to snatch that narrative back to Bharat. The Foundation of Indian Historical and Cultural Research, FIHCR, is one such initiative to bring back to life a fact-based, robust research based on primary sources and documentation, which truly puts an Indic lens to our own history.
I think that it is very much important to present evidence-based factual history in its truest form, and that is where the fellowship at FIHCR will be contributing.
My research, titled Ashtalakshmi, the Land of Eastern Light, attempts to trace the early history of Kamrupa Pragjyotisha from Kiratas and other indigenous rulers to the end of Prithu.
Under my fellowship, I am researching and writing on histories of textbook controversies in India, starting from 1870s, coming all the way to 2010s.
I'm delighted to have been selected for the Sir Jadunath Sarkar Fellowship for Indian History, awarded by the Foundation for Indian Historical and Cultural Research. The theme of my research is a critical and comparative analysis of the different strands of ideas that have contributed towards the development of the Bengali society and the Bengali identity.
The research project at FIHCR is titled The Theory and Practice of Indic Kingship, Reconsidering Marxist Positions. As the title indicates, I intend to consider certain Marxist positions or ideas regarding Indic or Hindu kingship and develop a systematic critique of these ideas.
I have been awarded the fellowship to work on a research project titled The Essential Religious Practice in Indian Jurisprudence, The Limitations of the Constitutional Framework. This is an interdisciplinary project that spans political philosophy, philosophy of religion, the socio-cultural history of modern India, and legal history.
As the Associate Program Manager for projects at FIHCR, I will be coordinating in-depth research related to our own philosophies rooted in Hinduism, Jainism, and Buddhism, with the help of a cohort of experts and a multidisciplinary approach, including disciplines like ancient Indian culture, archaeology, history, philosophy, and even genetics.
Namaskar, I am Dr. Pooja Dabral, Assistant Professor of Buddhist Philosophy at Nalanda University, and I'm very happy to be part of a collaborative association between Foundation of Indian Historical and Cultural Research and Nalanda University. The project, History of Buddhism in India, is a very significant endeavor to explore and present a comprehensive view of Buddhist philosophy, history, and culture in India.
History of Buddhism is mired in many controversies and differences of opinion, and the general public is not aware of the varied interpretations and the varied understandings of Buddhism. And here is an excellent attempt to know the origins of Buddhism and its growth and decline, and the key and salient features of the philosophy of Buddhism.
We are exploring original sources in order to present a comprehensive history and philosophy of Buddhism in collaboration between these two great institutions.
Namaste everyone, I am Sudha Murty and I am truly honored to be awarded with Shri Sachidanand Shankara Bharati Fellowship in collaboration with FIHCR. I take this opportunity to introduce you to my research title, Indian Temples as a Custodian of Bharatiya Culture. The present research tries to explore and delve into the spiritual and cultural significance of the temples in preserving India's rich cultural heritage.
At YUVA, we focus on children between the ages of 6 to 18, and we want to create engaging content through books, videos and other interesting forms so we can make history happening again.
Classes, they told us we don't like history, do something, but you have to make it interesting.
As the head of communications and chief of staff at FIHCR, I feel absolutely privileged and blessed to be a part of a team that's literally making history.
FIHCR is a cultural startup largely supported by the Ola Foundation, particularly Bhavish Agarwal and his keen interest in history, culture and a national renaissance and resurgence. We hope that in the coming years, FIHCR seeks to fill a very important academic gap which we have in the manner in which we see our own past and how it is understood by our future generations.
It has truly been an incredible year for FIHCR. And as a member of the team, I'd like to especially thank Dr. Vikram Sampath, who continues to stir the ship just as well as he does everything else. Speaking of which, I am delighted to share that he's recently launched a new venture, Now AI. Co-founded by Dr. Vikram Sampath and senior technologist Sandeep Singh, Now AI is a language tech company working at the intersection of artificial intelligence and publishing. Their flagship tool, Translate, helps translate and adapt books into multiple Indian languages, combining AI with human expertise to preserve meaning, tone, and cultural nuance. ZooNow is another product that seeks to create high-quality audio content, including audiobooks in multiple languages, using AI-generated, human-refined solutions. Let us now watch a short video on the vision and mission of Now AI.
Now AI is a multilingual translation platform designed for the publishing and content ecosystem. It helps publishers, authors, and institutions move high-quality content across languages quickly, accurately, and at scale. By combining AI technology with expert human review, Now AI ensures that every translation meets the standards of clarity, consistency, and cultural accuracy. To share more on the journey and vision behind Now AI, here are a few words from our co-founders, Dr. Vikram Sampath and Sandeep Singh.
As you know, I'm a published author, and to get my books translated into Indian languages was the biggest challenge. Being, in Bangalore, it took almost 15-16 years to get my books into Kannada, the local language here. And it's not as if there is no demand or interest for good content in Indian languages. There is a lot of appetite for it, but I think the supply is simply unable to meet that demand because translation process itself is very lengthy, laborious, slow, manual intervention and so on. Is there any technological solution for this problem?
As of now, I think we tested actually Kritrim as a first model for us to test, and we were able to get a very good output and results from those, close to 60-70% accuracy for some of the Indian languages. So translate to tell, basically it's translation of literature, so that's how it's formed. So the main purpose here is to translate the literature work. Now again, it doesn't have to be restricted to the literature. It basically caters to all kind of books and content. In terms of for translate, we are using some of these LLM models to create the first cut of translation, and then we have a pipeline in order to ensure that it is well refined, reviewed, and there is a human element, because when it comes to literature, there is apprehensions within the creative industry that the AI would generate a machine-generated output, which may not be that it might lack context and several other things. So we are ensuring that we have that pipeline, and we have teams of dedicated language experts as well as translators for specific languages in order to ensure that the final output has that creative element to it before it goes for publishing.
Our flagship tool, Translate, is a multilingual translation engine built to handle large format documents with speed and precision. Now AI is also developing ZooNow, an audio content and audiobook platform that blends AI voice technology with human narration to deliver high-quality audio experiences. The first set of books we've translated using Translate is part of the FIHCR YUVA Books Series for children. These are original illustrated books written by Indian authors, now available in English and 6 Indian languages. We thank all our partners and patrons who have helped bring Now AI to life. Navigating AI across vocabularies. Now AI.
I now request the students of Sri Sathya Sai Lok Seva Gurukulam to grace the gathering with a Sanskrit chanting.
My name is Krishna Kaushik, studying in grade 11, and today I am here with my fellow brothers from Sri Sathya Sai Lok Seva Gurukulam. We are a part of Shri Madhusudan Sai Global Humanitarian Mission that has 27 campuses and offers free education from primary level up to university, including India's first free medical college, the Shri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research. Apart from this, this mission also serves over 1 crore meals to 1 crore children in 1 lakh government schools and runs 15 free specialty hospitals treating millions of rural patients free of cost. We are deeply honored and grateful for this wonderful opportunity to be a part of this great occasion. We belong to a modern Gurukulam system steeped in traditional wisdom and developed and dedicated in nurturing minds and hearts of young students. As we embark on this journey this evening, as a mark of reverence and gratitude, we are going to chant the Medha Suktam, a Vedic hymn dedicated to Goddess Saraswati that prays for the intellect and gift of true wisdom. We offer this with humility and gratitude. Thank you.
त्वया जुष्टानुदमाना दुरुक्तान् बृहद्वदेम विदते सुवीराः त्वया जुष्ट ऋषिर्भवति देवि त्वया ब्रह्मा गतश्रीरुतत्वया त्वया जुष्टश्चित्रं विन्दते वसुसानो जुषस्वद्रविणो न मेधे मेधां म इन्द्रो दधातु मेधां देवी सरस्वती मेधां मे अश्विना उभावा दत्तां पुष्करस्रजा अप्सरासु च या मेधा गन्धर्वेषु च यन्मनः दैवी मेधा सरस्वती सा मां मेधा सुरभिर्जुषतागु स्वाहा आमां मेधा सुरभिर्विश्वरूपा हिरण्यवर्णा जगति जगम्या ऊर्जस्वती पयसा पिन्वमाना सा मां मेधा सुप्रतीका जुषन्ताम् मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि यज्ञस्तेजो दधातु मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयीन्द्र इन्द्रियं दधातु मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि सूर्यो भ्राजो दधातु हंस हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंसः प्रचोदयात् ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु।
I now invite our guests of honor, Srimati Sudha Murty ji, Shri Yaduveer Wadiyar ji, Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai ji, Shri Devesh Verma ji, Srimati Rajlakshmi ji, Srimati Anuradha Srinivasan, Dr. Vikram Sampath, and Shri Sandeep Singh to grace the stage for the lamp lighting ceremony. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our guests of honor for this evening, Srimati Sudha Murty ji. The Honorable Member of Parliament Rajya Sabha needs no introduction, especially to her millions of fans and young readers. An internationally renowned author, philanthropist, educator, and public speaker, Srimati Sudha Murty has won numerous accolades, including the Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan from the Government of India. She has written over 40 books, and her literary work has been recognized through multiple awards, including the most recent Sahitya Academy Award in 2023. Can we have a round of applause? I now request Srimati Anuradha Srinivasan to felicitate our guest of honor. Our next guest of honor, Shri Yaduveer Wadiyar ji. Shri Yaduveer Krishnadatta Chamaraja Wadiyar ji is the 27th and current custodian of the Royal House of Mysore and the Honorable Member of Parliament, Mysore and Kodagu. As a sign of the Royal House of Mysore, he continues to uphold the rich tradition and culture of the Wadiyars of Mysore, thereby preserving the culture of the Deccan over their 600-year presence. I now request Dr. Vikram Sampath to felicitate our guest of honor. Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai ji, our next guest of honor, is a spiritual leader, humanitarian, and an educationist known for his service-driven initiatives. He has established free healthcare, nutrition, and education programs across India and abroad. Through the Sri Satya Sai institutions, he continues to work towards uplifting rural communities and nurturing the next generation. I now request Sri Sandeep Singh to felicitate our guest of honor. Next, we have Srimati Rajalakshmi Agarwal. She's the chairperson of the Ola Foundation. She leads with a deep commitment to women's empowerment. She strongly believes in the power of technology-enabled initiatives to drive long-term systemic change. Her passion for transforming education at the grassroots level and preserving our cultural heritage has made her support FIHCR, for which we are always grateful. I now request Srimati Anuradha Srinivasan to felicitate our guest of honor. Our next guest is Shri Devesh Verma. As the head of Ola Foundation, he has led large-scale technology-driven transformation initiatives, crafting high-impact strategies, and has worked closely with governments and global NGOs. I now request Mr. Praveen Tiwari, Director of Publishing at Blue Waning, to felicitate Devesh Verma ji. Thank you so much. I now invite Dr. Vikram Sampath to deliver the welcome address.
Yellarigu Namaskara. A very good evening to all of you assembled here. It's with a sense of a deep honor, a pleasure, a privilege to welcome you all to this landmark occasion. I stand before you all today totally humbled by our journey so far. From vision to fruition, in something that we believe is not just a milestone in publishing history, but also a deeply cultural one. And today is the evening of multiple births. And so we needed multiple midwives also to ensure a safe delivery of all the children that are going to be birthed today. And to do the honors, we couldn't have asked for more than some of the most towering personalities of our country today. Padma Bhushan Sudha Murty ji, whose lifelong dedication to values, to simplicity, to child literacy and social service has touched the lives of millions of people. But more importantly, I think the numerous fans, lakhs of fans of young readers and adults and children who read her books. I think that is the thing that she is always more happy about, as far as I know, compared to all her other multifarious accomplishments. Thank you, Sudhaji, for making time to be here amidst us. Shri Yaduveer Wadiyar ji is a living custodian of a civilizational heritage. I keep mentioning repeatedly that modern Karnataka, its foundations were laid by this very dynasty of the Wadiyars, for whom we don't give them sufficient credit. But Yaduveer ji lives up to that legacy, and he's also representing our state as an elected representative in the Parliament of India. Shri Sadguru Sai Madhusudan ji, I think he's been someone who's been so gracious and so generous in his blessings for everything that I do, be it my own books, be it FIHCR. He's been someone who's literally led us, holding our hands together in this. And his vision for spiritual fulfillment, for educational as well as healthcare related services that were mentioned, I think it totally is a testament of the ancient spiritual wisdom of India, which talks of service to Daridra Narayana. And so, Sadguru, thank you so much for your grace, your blessings on us always. Rajalakshmi Agarwal, who's, apart from being a very, very dear friend, is someone who is committed to social causes, to animal welfare, women empowerment, to culture and heritage. And but for her, and of course the inimitable Bhavesh Agarwal, who's been a leading light for us, both at FIHCR and at NAV, we wouldn't be having this evening today. So thank you, Raj, for always being there. Devesh Verma, who's been a sounding board for us every time we have a problem, and we keep having them very, very often. So thanks all of you for being there, and welcome, hearty welcome to you all. The YUVA series is more than just storytelling. I look at it as a seed for a cultural memory, something that is written to ignite pride, a sense of rootedness, and also curiosity among the young adults and children. Now, all this heavy-duty research of FIHCR that you saw, of what use will it be if it actually doesn't reach out to the young kids and young adults? And so that is with that reason that the YUVA vertical you saw in the film too about the various initiatives, very, very ably spearheaded and heralded by our very dynamic head of YUVA, Srimati Anuradha Srinivasan. In just 1 year, I think we have proud to have accomplished quite a few milestones. And the other problem that we constantly faced is, what is the point of having all this research, all these books in English? And the irony is I'm also talking all of this in English. But just probably 5 or 6% of this country can understand or consume content in English. What about the rest of them? Should this message not reach the actual soul of Bharat, which is where the Bharatiya Bhashas reside? And so that is why NAV AI came into existence, which I co-founded with another very dear friend, Sandeep Singh Chauhan. And this evening today marks the birth of NAV AI as well. And probably it would not be an exaggeration to say that probably in the first time in the history of publishing in India, on one occasion, on one stage, we are having not only the English book, but also books in 6 other Indian languages being launched today: Hindi, Marathi, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, and Malayalam. As an author, I do know that a book launch is a very, very special occasion in our life. It is labor pain and months of struggle that come to fruition. And so the real stars of the evening are our authors and the translators who have worked with them. Very, very special and warm welcome to my friends and authors whose books will be released today. Dr. Pradeep Chakravarthy, Vijender Sharma, Mala Kumar, and Harini Srinivasan, and our translators, without whom the language books would not have come out. Three of them are there here today. Lakshman Shastri Garu for Telugu, Shri Gauri Joshi for Kannada, and Chokka Naganathanji for Tamil. And all of this would not have been possible if we did not find a publisher who actually reposed the trust in us. To actually also, Blue One Ink was coming out with a new vertical of a children's imprint. And they were literally handing this idea over to FIHCR and also allowing us to translate these using AI, about which there are a lot of inhibitions, which many publishers might have. But with Blue One Ink and with Praveen Tiwari, it's never a no for an answer. And so we are very, very grateful and welcome Praveen ji to this evening. And I want to very heartily welcome all the dignitaries, artists, writers, and others in the audience, the large number of school children, teachers, parents, friends from the media who have been here to share our joy on this very, very significant occasion. As we unveil these books this evening, we reaffirm our belief that the future of India must not only be digital, but it should be deeply civilizational. That our children deserve not just tools, but timeless truths that are told well in an interesting and inspiring manner. And this collaboration between heritage and technology, history and AI is the soul of our work and the future of cultural preservation. Thank you all, welcome, and sit back and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
As we move to the main event, I am proud to introduce our Yuva authors and now AI translators, whose enthusiasm, commitment, and creativity are the driving force behind this initiative. First, we have Mala Kumar, author of the Yuva title, The Missing Rocks of Hampi. She's a Bengaluru-based children's author and editor known for her engaging books like Traveling Treasures, Up the Mountains of India, and the Ritu Chakra series. She has written over 40 picture books and often writes on themes like education, culture, and the environment. I now invite Srimati Mala Kumar and the Tamil, Kannada, and Telugu translators, Shri Naga Chokanathanji, Srimati Gauriji, and Shri Lakshman Shastriji, respectively, to grace the stage for the official launch of The Missing Rocks of Hampi.
And thank you for coming here to this beautiful event where not only children's books are being released, but also in so many languages. And for that, I have to thank a lot of people, all of you here, and many of you all around me. I'm not going to name them, but I'm really, really very happy to be in the family of FIHCR and YUVA. You must have, today is a wonderful day in Bangalore, and you must have reached quite easily, but just imagine if it had been raining, okay? Now, I'm not going there, but the book, it starts with a school getting closed because it rained so heavily that the school had to be closed. And from there, the story moves to Hampi, where there are hundreds and hundreds of years of engineering knowledge hidden in every rock, in every aqueduct, in every dam. So the idea was to bring the problems of today, that is the rains in Bangalore, and the solutions that history had to offer. So the idea of the theme behind the book was, how do we not just learn history, but how do we learn from history? learn from Indian history. And I'm so happy I got the chance to write this story. Please do read it, and if you like it, just pass it around so that the wisdom can go to many more young children, many children who are going to be engineers and, well, solve our water problems. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Malaji. Our next author is Dr. Pradeep Chakravarthy, author of the YUVA book, Mega Cool Leaders. Dr. Pradeep Chakravarthy is a historian, author, and behavioral consultant with a unique passion for making history relevant to everyday life. He's authored 10 books on Tamil Nadu's cultural heritage, and with over 2 decades of experience in learning and development, he believes in using historical insights to drive behavioral change. I now request Dr. Pradeep Chakravarthy and our translators to grace the stage for the official launch of the Mega Cool Leaders, 5 Rulers Who Rocked India. Dr. Chakravarthy to say a few words.
Namaskaram. Working in leadership development and coaching and HR in large organizations like Infosys, McKinsey, and TVS, I learned that everybody liked to complain about things. But the people who really made a difference were people who acted on the complaint, and they became part of the solution rather than part of the problem. I started doing this by writing a book on South Indian history. And when Vikram, who's a dear friend for about 20 years, told me about the foundation, immediately jumped up the idea of doing something different in terms of talking about rulers who we don't know much about. I'm very sure that these 5 people that I've picked are not on your history textbooks at all, which is why they should be there. And one thing that I think I've done differently is also tell it as a story, but put in a lot of exercises and activities so that parents and children can actually do this together and find history and heritage a way to build a deeper relationship. Something that's motivated me a lot is a quote that is common to both the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. Yata kasyam cha sameyatam mahadadav sametyata yati atva tatvat bhuta samagam. All of this world is just like 2 logs which are in the ocean. They're drifting in the boundless ocean, and they graze each other for a minute. And that's all we really have. We just have 1 second or 1 nimisha in this world. And I hope books like this, foundations like this will do their work in terms of not only getting us to see our history the way we want to see it, but also find opportunities in different languages and different mediums. And not only do I wish all the fellow authors today the very best, but I also wish the foundation the very best. Namaskaram.
Thank you so much, Pradeep ji. Our next author is Vijender Sharma, author of The Rise of the Ancient Indians. An entrepreneur, columnist, and author, Vijender Sharma possesses a deep interest in lesser-known aspects of Indian history. His books, essays on Indic history, and the Caspias aim to make history accessible to all readers. I now invite Shri Vijender Sharma and our translators to grace the stage for the official launch of The Rise of the Ancient Indians. Request Shri Vijender Sharma ji to say a few words.
Good evening, everybody. Namaskaram. I am really grateful to be part of this event with my fellow authors and the foundation. A big thank you to the FIHCR team and Vikram, and publishers and Nav AI for doing the wonderful translation work. The idea behind this book, it so happened, it was a chance discussion between two people, who wanted to discuss about a children's book, and I was referred to as a potential author, and I had happened that I also was writing book for children at that time. So like Vikram just said that the publishers were also at the time, getting into another imprint for children, and it so happened that everything came together. So it was also the same for me, that I was writing something for children and this offer came, and it was just the perfect thing to have happened. So I'm really grateful that everything clicked and it worked. My book explores sort of the lesser known aspects of Indian history for children, which, as we know, not many people know about. In the quiz questions, one of the question was, which is the largest site or which is the oldest site? I mean, these things are not taught to us in school. We are always talking about Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, but there are so many other cities to be, looked into, to read about, to study. There are so many wonderful things that people back then were doing. I'll give you a very, very interesting example. So to make history interesting, the people back then were designing their clothes using sequins. Something that designers do today, it was happening almost 4,000, 5,000 years ago with gold sequins. So, can you imagine that people were wearing fashionable clothes back then? So these are the kind of things that I want to bring to the children, which makes them read with curiosity and not think that history is boring with all the dates and the kings, etc. So I hope that this small attempt of mine would make children curious about history, and pass on their curiosity to their younger brothers and sisters and the generations to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Vijender ji. Once again, I request our translators to join us on the stage, please. We have Shri Naga Chokanathan ji, Shri Lakshman Shastri ji, and Srimati Shri Gauri Joshi ji. Can we have a big round of applause for our translators? It also gives me great pleasure to inform you all that FIHCR, in collaboration with the Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation, aims to distribute the Marathi editions of the YUVA books to the government schools in Mumbai, reaching approximately 30,000 students, and conduct interactive reading session in select schools. Such is the power of translation. Thank you so much. Moving on, our next author is Harini Srinivasan, author of The Merchant of Nagapattinam. She's a former civil servant turned editor and writer who now combines her professional work in content management with her love for storytelling, authoring popular books like Death at the Arcade Emporia and The Wizard Tales, Adventures of Banban. She's known for crafting historical fiction that blends intrigue, culture, and adventure. I now invite Srimati Harini Srinivasan ji to grace the stage for the official launch of The Merchant of Nagapattinam. Harini ji to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. Namaskaram. I'm truly delighted to be here amongst all of you, and thank you for coming, and thank you, Vikram. Thank you, FIHCR, for giving me the opportunity to write this book. As somebody who's really passionate about history, I always felt history is not about dates, and it's not about kings, it's not just about queens. It's about people like you and me. So that's why I've combined my passion for history and literature, and I write historical stories. The Merchant of Nagapattinam, the origin story, is about a young boy. It's a coming of age tale, one about belonging, one about longing and identity. He really wants to do something much bigger and wants to do something really big in life. And this story is for children. And what happens to this young boy is that through a series of adventures, his life gets transformed. Through this particular book, I've tried to kind of portray bring through my love for history by exploring the Chola dynasty. And the Chola Empire, as most of you would know, was an extremely glorious empire, a glorious chapter in South Indian history. They're known for their temples, they're known for their the navy, the merchant guilds. And this story is just that. It's about this young boy in Tanjavur who then becomes the Merchant of Nagapattinam. I hope you read it and enjoy it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
A big round of applause for our Yuva authors and translators. Through these books and their translations in 6 Indian languages, FIHCR aims to reach out to students and readers across the country, reigniting their interest in India's glorious past. I now request Srimati Sudha Murty ji to address the audience.
ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲಿರುವ ಹಿರಿಯರೇ, ಗಣ್ಯರೇ, ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ, ಮಹಿಳೆಯರೇ ಮತ್ತು ಮಹನೀಯರೇ, ಕನ್ನಡ ನಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದು ಇತಿಹಾಸ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ವಿಕ್ರಮ್ 2 ಶಬ್ದ ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಇತಿಹಾಸನೇ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. It is always, you should talk our mother tongue at least 2 lines before you switch to English, because if we don't respect our own mother, next door auntie will not respect. Okay? After all, Kannada, we are from Karnataka. Kannada is our language and our culture. So, and we are in Karnataka. So, I always start my lecture in Karnataka, always with Kannada. Coming to history, I want to tell you a story. I am a storyteller anyway. My grandfather was the history teacher in high school. It's a real story. Huh? And we had a history class between 4:30 to 5:30 in the school. And all children of your age, 8, 10, 12. Our teacher will teach. 1630 Shivaji was born. 1680 Shivaji died. 1707 Aurangzeb died. 1799 Tipu Sultan died. War of Plassey 1757. It goes on, and everybody would say, look, there was no watch in those days, but we were waiting to get out of the class. And I come home, I used to feel, what is history? Only one who was born, one who died. Only those things. There's nothing in between. Oh, he won some kingdom. He won some kingdom. We can't relate to that. So I went to my grandfather. I said, what is history? It's only sequence of events and only the digits, 1630, 1680. He said, no, beta, you are not understood. He told, if you want, what is your future, you want to know, not astrology-wise, but you want to know what you want to do tomorrow, you should know about your past. You can build your confidence if you know your history of your country. It is not the wars we lose. It is not that. The attempt we made. Okay? It is, if you do not know history of your country, you will never be proud. You are always under somebody. Somebody is better than me. Somebody better than me. Somebody may be better than me, but I am also good. That confidence you should have. Third thing, he said, no. It is how our ancestors lived. And how that effect you can see in your daily work. For example, a simple example I will give you. 700 AD, or between 700 to 900 AD, Pampa was born in Dharwad district, where I belong to that area. And he is known as a very famous poet in Kannada literature. What words he used, actually, if you list, 70% of them in North Karnataka who use those words. That time I realized the impact of your language, your thoughts, your action, your character is built by your history. So history should be taught in a proper way, not the sequence digit at 4:30, 5:30 class and you run away. So I told my grandfather, you teach me. He said, I will teach you provided you promise me following things. Number 1, at the age of 16 or 17, when you pass 10th class, you should know history of Karnataka very well. Everything, all the dynasties. I'm not asking you dates, dynasties, how they ruled, what are their impact on a common man. At the age of 21, you should know history of India very well, all the states. At the age of 25, you should know history of the world. If you promise me that you will do that, then only I will teach you. And the young girl, I said, oh, grandfather will forget, I said, okay, no problem. The way he taught me history was so different. He would describe, actually, there was a war in 575 AD or maybe 620 AD in Badami. That is Chalukya versus Pallavas. People from Tamil Nadu should excuse me. We had a fight from that time onwards. We had a fight, and not for water. We had a fight for something else. And at that time, in the war, plus minus do happen. And you should never be biased, actually. So it is Ganpati, which was in Badami, was taken by Pallava people, and they took it as a symbol of victory, and they took it to Tamil Nadu. Thus, Vatapi Ganapatim Bhaje started from there. That Ganpati has only 2 hands. Okay, that's what he told me. I searched entire Tamil Nadu to see what is, It is a history, one of the stories. And Rajasimha temple I saw when the Chalukya, Badami Chalukya's grandson goes to Kanchi, and how he does. He celebrates his victory in Rajasimha temple and writes in Kannada. This is a great impact on me, saying that, look, our people did fight, did win and lose, but they built a character, saying that you have to unite together when difficulties come. You have to improve your culture, learning from others. You have to accept new things from every direction. You have to learn. Karnataka Sangeet was started here, but learned everywhere in South India. And these are the characters we should learn from history. How was the life? And that led me to learn a lot more on the Yaduvamsha or the Wadiyars of the Mysore. Though my husband is from Mysore, I know a lot more about Wadiyar history than him, because this small, the seed which my grandfather sowed in my mind went on growing over a period of time. I always used to enjoy learning history is only because it was taught in a proper way. History should be taught in a proper way with the proper books, without exaggeration, without any bias. You should not get upset. As a young girl of 8 years old, I went to Hampi. There's a book on Hampi, I went to Hampi, and they showed the whole thing, and they said how Hampi was lost because of the war of Talikote. The son-in-law's name was Ramraya, and we lost it. And a school teacher, that much they told me. I took a vow, in that place only, because you are 8, 9 years old. I will never marry a man whose name is Ram, because because of Ram Rao only we lost the kingdom of Vijender. Later I realized, then, my father's name only was Ram Rao. They later realized it is not Aliya Ramaraya or anybody who is responsible for the fall of Vijayanagar. Any empire in 300 years, goes on weakening, and it is a pattern all over India you can see, So you learn a lot in history when you lose, when you stop working hard, when you lose, when you don't care for your praja, when you lose, when you think money is eternal. There are many reasons for losing a kingdom. And that mistakes, we should not do that. So history has given me the way I look at life is so different. Any country I go, I always read their history 2 or 3 months in advance. I prepared 1 year for going to Iran, 1 year. It was worth it, because every monument you should know about the history, then you enjoy it better. Otherwise, it's only you stand in front of the monument, take a photograph, put it on Facebook or Instagram. That is not life. Why the monument was built? What were the difficulties? Okay, what was the national food at that time? What people used to wear? There are so many interesting things. The day you stop learning, you will become old. It is not the number of years. It is the love for learning ends that day you start becoming old. I know Vikram for a long time. He was my son's 2 years senior. So I seen him in half chaddi and all. Bishop Cotton boy, the uniform also I have seen him. He's a great scholar, and He writes very well, not because he'll give me a free dinner, not for that reason. Because I always ask him questions. Did you do the research? Tell me these points. I read and also write questions. He chooses fantastic subjects, actually. I like that Bharat, you said 7 people. Brave Hearts of Bharat was very good. Even that Calcutta lady, Gohar Jana, very good. Of course, Mysore Wadiyar was his first book. I came for that. He is a very good author, a sincere author. And this is a good project, Vikram, what you have taken. Number 1 is writing books for children in a simple way, not giving too many dates. Second thing is, introducing that in many languages. How many people in India can read English? Now, Kannada medium, now up to 10th I have done in Kannada. And I enjoyed my Kannada medium. But, majority for children are in villages. And they have to get this exposure. Third point I want to tell you, you should hold some classes once in a while in some schools. Small things, or a quiz or something. Make it interesting to interact with students. That makes them to read it. Don't make it like you send the book and they will read. No. You should have a quiz or you should go and talk about it. I'm very, I've seen all these 3 copies. I took it to Bijapur, my constituency. And there the teacher said, will you give it to me? I wanted to show it to my students. That's the reason I lost all 4 books there. I'm very happy that the books are written in a very good, simple language with a good, important points. And particularly, I liked more on the Saraswati Indus civilization, because that is, you can't see much there. You can see only few things on the ground. Whereas Hampi, you can see many things. Nagapattinam, you can see some things. But if you go to Rakhigadi or Lothal, you can't see, you can only see the trenches there. And you have to visualize that, what it was 7,000 years back. And that is very important, that creativity of the real facts of history and introducing to children is very important. You have done a good job. And next year, I would like to support you with some fellows. Okay, from Murthy Trust, I'll give you 25 lakhs. You take some fellows. Okay? This year, I'm very busy. Next year. And I want something for Karnataka. I saw Marxist history. I saw something on Bengali, your fellowships. I want 2 on Karnataka, beta. Something in Karnataka also we have history. We have richer history. We have 2,000 years old language. We have shasanas. We have more than 25,000 shasanas. Actually, when Krishnadatta Wadiyar IV was ruling, that time Reverend Rice was the archaeologist, and he found out 25,000 Shila Shasana in Karnataka alone. So we have a rich history. 2 fellowships for Karnataka history. You should do that. I'll be very happy. It is not that I don't like other state, but Janani Janma Bhumischa Swargadapi Gariyasi. Dhanyavad. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Sudha Murty ji, for your inspiring words. We also sincerely thank you for your personal initiative of supporting and facilitating the distribution of Kannada editions of the YUVA Books Series to government schools in Bijapur, reaching approximately 50,000 children, encouraging them to read and interact with history. I now request Shri Yaduveer Wadiyar ji to address the audience.
ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತರಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಗಣ್ಯರೇ, ಮುಂಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿರಿಯರೇ ಮತ್ತು ಮಹನೀಯರೇ, ಮಹಿಳೆಯರೇ, ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಸುಧಾ ಮೂರ್ತಿ ಅವರು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ತಮ್ಮ ಭಾಷೆಯನ್ನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿರೋ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಕೂಡ ಅವರು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಪಾಲಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಕೆಲವು ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯಾನಗಳು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ ನಂತರ ನಾವು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಾತಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಭಾಳ ಕಷ್ಟವಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಸುಧಾಮೂರ್ತಿ ಅವ್ರ ಮುಂಚೆನೇ ಮಾತಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ. ಅವ್ರು ಆಗಿದ ನಂತರ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ನಿಜಕ್ಕೂ ನಮಗೆ ಕಷ್ಟ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅನೇಕ ಪ್ರತಿಭೆಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಒಂದು ಉತ್ತಮವಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ವಾಗ್ಮಿಗಳಾಗಿರೋ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಅವ್ರು ಆಗಿದ ನಂತರ ಬರೋರು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಬಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಭಾಷೆ ಕೊಡೋದು ಭಾಳ ಕಷ್ಟದ ಕೆಲಸ. ಆದರೂ ಸಹ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಭಾಳ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಯಿತು ನಮಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಕ್ರಮ್ ಸಂಪತ್ ಅವರ ಹೊಸ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಾನದ ಮೂಲಕ 4 ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳು ಇವತ್ತು ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅನೇಕ ಒಂದು ಇತಿಹಾಸಗಳನ್ನು ಉಲ್ಲೇಖ ಮಾಡೋ ಮೂಲಕ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಇತಿಹಾಸ, ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಒಂದು ಜ್ಞಾನ, ಒಂದು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಸುವ ಮೂಲಕ ಇವತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೇರಣೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ತಪ್ಪಾಗಲಾರದು. Quite honestly, when I first got to know that Vikram was going to be, initially I thought you were the one who wrote the 4 books. So I was wondering how our children would go around carrying such heavy books everywhere they went. But as I got to know, it is ನಾಲ್ಕು ಇದು ಸಾಹಿತಿಗಳು ತಮ್ಮದೇ ಆದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳು ಬರೆದಿರೋದು ನಿಜಕ್ಕೂ ನಮಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಯಿತು. ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಅನುಕೂಲವಾದಂಥ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೋ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಒಂದು ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳು ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಕೆಲವು ಪುಟಗಳು ನಾವು ಓದಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿತ್ತು. ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಸಂತೋಷದ ವಿಚಾರ. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಆಧುನಿಕ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಬಳಸಿ ಅನೇಕ ಭಾಷೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಲಭ್ಯ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ನಿಜಕ್ಕೂ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಂತೋಷದ ವಿಚಾರ. ಥ್ರೂ NAV AI, what he has done and made it available in 6 odd languages, I think is really commendable work, and I think that aspect of making it available to every corner of society is truly remarkable today. I remember when I was in school, and I understand there's a book on his Hampi, and we could never get enough of Vijayanagar and the empire that was there. But it was limited to 1 page in our history book, and that too probably because we were from Karnataka. I dare to say in other states it was limited to just 1 paragraph, and most of it was referenced from only 1 book written by an Indologist, a British Indologist at that time, The Forgotten Empire, Vijayanagar. But of course, over time, when we went to Hampi, we understood about the tremendous history there. And every single rock, I believe it is the Missing Rocks of Hampi's madam's book today. Every single rock, if I say it has a bit of history in it, I am not wrong, because right near the Vijay Vittala temple, if you go trekking towards the right of the temple, you will find rock inscriptions which are over 3,000, 4,000 years old, which predate Hampi. In fact, Hampi has a reference through all 4 yugas in our traditional history as well. It is where Shiva took Samadhi as Virupaksha and was finally arose during the time when Manmata came and found him there. After that, of course, it is where Rama met the Vanaras in his search for Sita. He spent his Chaturmas there. There is a rock where you can go and see where he spent meditating, and even now you can crawl into one cave and see the Shivling where he worshipped there. After that, of course, you have the era of where the Mahabharata happened, and you have the Pandavas passing through as well, and you have several reference points for that as well. And of course, you have it in the current context and the current yuga as well, only 300 years of which are part of the empire which we reference. So Hampi itself has such a tremendous history that stretches beyond the imaginations of modern time, and it's so important that we stir at least a small flame in our children initially, and they can go on further to uncover this vast truth in India. I mean, even traveling in my own constituency, to the extent which I've had the good fortune of doing now, every single town has an history which is only preserved word of mouth and in the elders of that town, which is rapidly eroding as well. So all of this is a very important work that's happening. Alongside that, all of the good work that's happening in the Foundation for Historical and Cultural Research, we are very proud of. I think it is abundantly necessary to have historians write history from an Indian point of view, from a Swadeshi point of view. That is the most important thing that of our generation are trying to do. And that is in every aspect, whether it be from economy, whether it be from our way to modernity, our way of the society we want to construct in the 21st century, and certainly our history as well. It requires a Swadeshi outlook, not colored by whatever narratives they chose at some point in time, whether it be post-independence or pre-independence as well. And I think these are very positive developments for all of us, and I would like to congratulate the entire team and all of the authors here today on behalf of the Palace at Mysore. Vikram, of course, is a very old associate of the Palace, and of course a good friend as well. His continued works amongst now, I think, a vast expanse of works from every single corner of history of India, and there is no, I think, area he has not touched. And certainly we look forward to the many good works he's continuing to do, and we are of course very proud that it started from our family history, which was a much needed work at the time when he brought it up. saying that, and of course giving me this wonderful opportunity to be here on such a historic launch, I thank you all, and once again many congratulations to you all. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
I now request Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai ji to address the audience.
Vina Vedam, Vina Geetam, Vina Ramayanim Katham, Vina Adhyatmakim Vidyam, Kidrasham Bharatiyata. What is the use if you do not know your Vedas, your Nada, your music, your history, Ramayaniyam, Itihasa, or you are not educated in India's spiritual traditions? How can you call yourself a Bharatiya? Questions this shloka. So, ಇವತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾರತೀಯತೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಇತಿಹಾಸದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಂಥ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ನನಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಯಿತು. ಮೆನಿ ಕಾಂಗ್ರ್ಯಾಚುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಯು ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯುವರ್ ಟೀಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಬ್ರಿಂಗಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಔಟ್. ಆ್ಯಸ್ ದ DVG ಸೇಸ್, ಹಳೆ ಬೇರು ಹೊಸ ಚಿಗುರು ಕೂಡಿರಲು ಮರ ಸೊಬಗು. India's beautiful tree, as it was written earlier by Dharampal ji, that India was a beautiful tree. And this beautiful tree can sustain itself with the roots which are hale veru and hosa chiguru, the new shoots, that is in multiple languages, through AI, bringing out history which is lightweight. You don't have to carry the kgs of history that generally Vikram writes, and many of us suffer through it. But I didn't know him from his chaddi days, but I met him just a few years ago, and he gifted 2 or 3 of his books, the heavy ones. And I asked him, how will children read these books? Because we run schools, we don't want children to suffer through these like us, what we did in our childhood. Can you come up with lightweight history books which are easy on children of today? And he said, of course we would do that. Foundation has been formed, history books have come out, and to all the authors and translators, my personal gratitude on behalf of all the children in our schools and all the schools who would have otherwise suffered history all their lives like us. So thank you so much for that. I don't have much to say, but because history is replete with story. His story is history. Our culture is full of stories of the divine. Ramayana is a history. Mahabharata is history. So also the history of empires and kings and saints and sages. Our history is so beautiful. I will just tell one story just to convey how history can be made interesting for the children, so that they enjoy, they learn something at the end of it. They have become better people by learning from their history, not just learning history, but learning from history. So this is a story told by Baba when we were kids. It's about Vijender Empire, because we've been talking about Hampi and the lost rocks of Hampi. So Krishnadatta was the king at those times when this story happened, it seems. And Tenali Ramakrishna, who was one of the Ashtadigajas in his court, known for his wit, humor, and also his clever disposition. It seems at one point of time, Krishnadatta gave a problem because he was a scholar. There were 8 scholars and he was one of them. He made a competition between them. And he said, can anybody come up with a sentence in one language which has 5 words from 5 different languages? They all mean the same thing and they should make sense as a sentence. That was the challenge he gave to the scholars in his court. I repeat, one sentence, 5 words from 5 languages, meaning the same thing, yet the sentence should be full and should make sense. Now everybody was at their wits' end. So Tenali Ramakrishna on that night thought, I better not go to my home and waste my time. I'll rather stay up thinking about the answer, because I must give the answer tomorrow to Krishnadatta. So he prayed all night because he wasn't getting sleep, and he went to his brother-in-law's place that day because it was closer to the palace, and stayed overnight there, it seems. They did not have guest rooms and privacy and all that, so they would sleep in the courtyard, that like they do in today's villages also. And there used to be a goshala in the courtyard of the house, like it is in many village houses. You enter, you see a goshala, then you enter the house. So he was sleeping that night in the courtyard without getting sleep, turning upside down and waiting for that answer to come. He prayed to his mother goddess, whom he used to worship, for an answer, but he did not have one. It was already coming to the daybreak. You see, he was getting nervous. At that point of time, suddenly a cow started crying in pain. And he looked around and saw that one of the cows went into labor. And he did not know how to help the cow, so he knocked on the door to call his brother-in-law. And he said to his brother-in-law, there is a cow in labor, please come and help. And the brother-in-law in Telugu, because they were speaking Telugu in those days, asked, "E aura baba, which cow, oh dear brother-in-law?" That is a sentence in Telugu. E au ra ba va. whereas these 5 words mean the same in 5 different languages. A, Marathi, Au, Hindi, Ra, Telugu, Ba, Kannada, Va, Tamil. And all the 5 mean come. So that is how Vijayanagara Empire story was told to us. Before this, I did not have much idea of Vijayanagara Empire. Yaduveer ji is very right. In other history books of other states, I studied in Madhya Pradesh. I never heard about Vijayanagara dynasty before I came to Karnataka. Only after coming here I learned, and this story told me that there was a kingdom called Vijayanagara. There was a king called Krishnadatta, one of the best kings that India ever had. There was a very clever courtman or scholar by name Tenali Ramakrishna, and there are 5 different languages in South which have 5 words which mean the same. All these we learned through this one story. So how important is storytelling for children? There are children in the room. I'm sure they'll remember this story when they go back because it is full of fun. So make learning fun, make history fun. And that is all I appeal to Vikram. Can you make history a little more fun so that everybody enjoys it? And thanks to all of you, you have come together. Thanks to the foundations that have supported this. Thanks to everyone who is a part of this endeavor. And I again convey my personal gratitude on behalf of all the children of the country who would learn history with a lot of fun, and they will thank you for all times to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sri Sadguru Madhusudan Sai ji. I think that was a fantastic story that we'll all take home with us. I now request Srimati Rajalakshmi ji to address the audience.
Namaste and a very good evening to everyone present here. It's going to be hard to follow up with a speech after such wonderful speeches already, but I'm going to keep it short and I'm going to make this quick. It's an absolute honor for me to be here today. This is the first evening that's launching the first set of books from YUVA under FIHCR. And as a trustee at the Ola Foundation, it brings me immense pride to support this initiative. Because what we are doing here today is not just launching a book. I see this as planting of seeds of awareness, identity, and pride in the hearts of young Indians. In a world flooded with global narratives, I think it's very important for our children to know where they come from. Also in today's digital age where everyone's seeking quick gratification, I think reading as an exercise is hard to come by in young adults, and I'm hoping through this endeavor, Vikram, more and more children are encouraged to pick up reading and more so about Indian history and culture. We definitely need more institutes like these that are research-driven, that are youth-focused and culturally rooted to ensure that our stories are told with truth, dignity, and depth. For me personally, one of the most exciting programs that FIHCR runs is the YUVA program. And I truly believe it's a platform that nurtures young minds with structured learning on Indian history, heritage, and national values. None of this would have been possible, of course, without the visionary leadership of Dr. Vikram Sampath. So I would request everyone to please give a huge round of applause. As a historian, author, and a cultural champion through FIHCR, he is not just preserving the past, he is shaping the future. His commitment, clarity, and courage in telling India's story as it deserves to be told has inspired many, including so many of us present in this room. At the Ola Foundation, we believe supporting platforms that empower the next generation, and we are proud to stand beside FIHCR in this incredible journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Raj Lakshmi ji. I now request Shri Praveen Tiwari ji, Director of Publishing at Blue One Ink, to address the audience.
Hi, namaste and a very good evening to everyone. It is an honor for me to represent Blue One Ink on this historic occasion, the launch of 4 impactful books in 7 Indian languages. This is a landmark initiative, one of its kind, and we are proud to be a part of this movement that celebrates India's cultural diversity and unity. I extend my heartfelt thanks to all the distinguished guests on the stage and in the audience. This achievement has been made possible by the brilliance of all the authors and unwavering support of our partners, FIHCR, YUVA, and Now AI, and a special thanks to Vikramji and Anuradhaji. Together, our goal is to make learning a joyful and enriching experience for our young minds. To ensure these books to reach learners far and wide, we are actively collaborating with state governments, NGOs, school networks across the country. This multilingual launch is more than just a publishing milestone. It is a celebration of India's cultural heritage and a powerful reminder of how stories can connect us beyond borders and languages. Thank you for being part of this meaningful journey. Good evening.
Thank you so much, Praveenji. Blue One Ink has been a strong partner in bringing these books to life with care and quality. Their commitment to telling meaningful stories is truly commendable. I now request Srimati Anuradha Srinivasan to deliver a vote of thanks.
Namaskara, Namaste. On behalf of everyone gathered here today, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to all who have contributed to making this evening a resounding success. First and foremost, we are deeply honored to have been joined by our esteemed guests of honor, Srimati Sudha Murty ji, Shri Yaduveer Wadiyar ji, and Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai ji. Your presence, your inspiring words, and your encouragement have elevated this occasion beyond measure. We are immensely grateful for the time and support you have so graciously given us. We are equally indebted to our other distinguished guests of honor, Srimati Rajlakshmi Agarwal ji, Shri Devesh Verma ji, Shri Sandeep Singh ji, and Shri Praveen Tiwari ji, for sharing your insights and adding to our celebration of this evening. A special note of appreciation to the Ola Foundation. Your unwavering support and commitment have been instrumental in bringing this vision to life. And to the authors, translators, and the NAV team, thank you. Your outstanding work will inspire thousands of children to engage with Indian history. Our deepest thanks go to our founder and director, Dr. Vikram Sampath. Your vision and dedication to transforming Indic history into a people's movement inspires every step that we take. To our volunteers and our wonderful audience, your enthusiasm and active participation and support have made today truly memorable. And lastly, to our amazing team at FIHCR. Without the efforts of every one of you, today would not have been possible. Thank you all for being part of this incredible journey from mere ideas to books in Indian languages that will inspire generations with the splendor of Indic history. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anuradha. As we come to the close of this special evening, I would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you for being here with us to celebrate the launch of the YUVA Books. These books represent more than just stories. They are a step towards making history inclusive, accessible, and meaningful for young minds across India. Thank you so much for being with us today.